Liquid gold. Welcome to Victorian London. You're broke, but nature just handed you a business opportunity. Tanners needed ammonia to process leather, and the cheapest source came from you, specifically your liquid waste. This wasn't new. The practice stretched back centuries. Romans did it too, so much so that Emperor Vespasian taxed public urinals and coined the phrase pecunia non olet, money doesn't stink. The Victorians took that to heart. They just didn't talk about it. What you do is you'd store it in clay pots, line them up in the corner. Fresh batches earned more. The clock started ticking as soon as it left your body. Containers filled homes. The smell filled everything else. By midday, you'd carry your inventory through the streets, hoping to fetch a decent price. Diet mattered. They are what you eat, that's obvious. Some try to drink as much as possible to boost output, but input sources are not always clean. Thousands joined the hustle. The competition was fierce. Prime delivery times, jealously guarded collection spots, spilled containers were common, and so were complaints. The sound of ceramic jars clinking was the commerce music. Soon, your home began to reek. Friends stopped visiting, so did family. But as long as London's fashion elite wanted soft leather gloves, your product stayed in demand. The leather goods you help create are luxury items for wealthy customers who would cross the street to avoid you. Unpleasant, undignified. But just when you thought selling your own waste was rock bottom, turns out you weren't the only one cashing in on bodily functions. But now it's not your body. Meet the pure finders. Nothing pure about it. Leather making was one of Victorian England's booming industries. Britain exported thousands every year, and each one passed through piles of secret ingredients you're about to collect. Aged, chalk white dog droppings. The older, the better. The pure nickname came from the product's role in purifying leather. Ironically, nothing about the job felt pure. Your hunting ground is London's streets. Every morning you're out with your bucket and shovel, competing with other pure finders for the premium drops. Demand came in cycles. More leather production meant better prices, but off-seasons left you with a stockpile nobody wanted. You wake up seeing shit. Your dreams is shit. Your nightmares is whatever you see when you close your eyes. Shit. Mental health support doesn't exist, so you're managing your shit alone. Your diet didn't matter anymore, but dogs did. Richer neighborhoods had better product. You started learning which breeds gave the highest return. Some pure finders scaled up, hired others, ran routes, became middlemen in a world no one wanted to admit existed. Still, it was honest work. You made fashion happen, but fashion wanted nothing to do with you. Eventually, you leave the shit trade behind, hoping for something better. It does, barely. Now you're selling your body, appropriately. 3. Sleep prop. In Victorian workhouses, rest wasn't a right. Workers labored for 16 hours on scraps of food. Sleep was stolen in minutes, standing up, heads nodding mid-shift. For a penny, exhausted workers lean on your back, your shoulder, your arm. Sounds absurd, but the demand is real. Sitting or lying down is banned, so leaning on another body becomes the only option. Best spots are near the machines, where people are most desperate. You get paid only if they stay up. If they slide off, their fault, your problem. Each client has their style. Some nap for seconds, others slump into you like dead weight. You must adapt. You don't get thanked, but you can build a reputation for being sturdy, quiet, reliable, which is your stable food source. Yet there's one thing you must keep in mind. You're in Victoria, London. Tuberculosis killed more than 1 in 4 working-class Londoners. Sickness spreads fast when you're touching everyone. It's hard to tell if they're ill or just overwork. Still, you're on the lowest rung of the lowest class. Even other workers look down on you. You're not part of the system. You're what the system leans on. No official records mention sleep props. That would mean admitting conditions were inhumane, so you remain invisible, even as dozens rely on your body to keep from hitting the floor. You're the desperate paid by the desperate, but now is where real job opportunities arrives. Those bottled up emotions will be used in your next job. 4. Mourner for hire. Turns out pain is marketable, especially if it's not yours. Victorian funerals are performances. If the weeping isn't loud enough, the dead clearly didn't matter. Families hire professional mourners to cry harder than they ever did in private. That's you now. A walking tragedy on command. Auditions are awkward. Families judge your weeping range and collapse technique. A good mourner shows sadness without stealing the spotlight. Every death demands a different show. Quiet tears for old age, loud wailing for youth, full floor collapse for rich widows. You're a one-woman grief department, mourning on demand, no actual feelings required. Victorian society didn't just love mourning, it industrialized it. Mourning clothes, mourning jewelry, mourning etiquette books. Queen Victoria herself mourned Prince Albert for 40 years. The job would eat at you. You mourn so much, your own feelings get confused. Sometimes you wonder if there'll be anyone who cries as hard for you. But don't think too hard. Save it for a double funeral at 3. Cry, collapse, repeat. You help strangers bury their loved ones with just the right volume of agony. They go home with closure. You go home with money and a raw throat. Dignity died 2 jobs ago, but at least now you're in fashion. You've cried for strangers, now you stand for them. Victorian London has found a way to sell even idleness. Waiting in line is for poor people, which is why you're here. The job exploded in the mid-1800s as urban crowding, ticketed entertainment, and bureaucracy surged. London's population doubled. So did its paperwork and its obsession with social status. People loitered near theaters and government offices, holding signs, "Will wait." You got used to being stared at or ignored. Your job is stand in place, don't lose your spot, no matter what. The rich hire you to wait for everything, because their time is precious. Yours is cheap, no skills or tools needed, just legs and patience. You're literally a human bookmark. Your working conditions vary dramatically depending on the type of queue you're maintaining. Theater lines offer covered waiting areas and occasional entertainment. Government offices provide uncomfortable seating and hostile bureaucrats. Bakery queues expose you to weather while surrounded by smells of meals you can't afford. Sometimes you wait so long, you forget what you're waiting for. Sometimes the client doesn't show. Sometimes they show and don't pay. Other placeholders hate you. So do the people behind you. They know what you are. They think you didn't earn your spot, but neither did the man who paid for it. Still, it's one of the more respectable gigs. No filth, no fluids. But when standing still becomes a job, it's only a matter of time before something worse shows up. 6th, toenail merchant. You thought your body had nothing left to sell. You're wrong. Turns out, toenails are profitable. Wig makers need bulk. Real human hair was scarce, costly, and often imported from places like France or India. So they padded the wigs, not with straw, but with keratin. That's where you come in. Your toenails, when ground, crushed and chemically treated, help fake the fluff. The base filler binds the wig's shape, gives it body, and absorbs powder for that pale, aristocratic look. Luxurious curls on top, your feet underneath, and just like that, you're in business. Step 1, grow them out. Let them curl, harden, turn mildly weaponized. Walking hurts, but profit waits at the tip of your toe. Step 2, chew dry bread, waiting for your nails to catch up, and then harvest carefully. A single miscut means blood, infection, maybe the end of your business. There's no ladder to climb. You can't scale this. You've only got 10 toes, if you're lucky. Meanwhile, your social connections deteriorate as your work becomes apparent. People don't want to associate with someone who sells toenail for survival. The stigma attached to this profession surpasses even other degrading Victorian employment options. Sometimes, you wonder if rich people ever think about what's under their wigs. They don't. But you do. Every day, you carry the image of powdered toes on powdered heads. They walk past you on the street, wearing what came off your feet. They'd scream if they knew. But they don't ask, you don't tell. And so, the fashion lives on, because you disappeared behind it.